quite a bit about me. You can contact me on LinkedIn. So let's start today's session. I'll just share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can proceed.
Yeah, okay. So just give me a minute. Yeah, this platform is a bit new for me. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, you can proceed.
Yeah, okay. Just give me a minute. Okay, so today's agenda is I'm going to cover three topics, Power BI data marts, field parameters, and Power BI data storytelling. All these are new features that have been included from May release onwards. So I just want to know how many of you are familiar with Power BI. I'm hoping that all of you are familiar with Power BI. But I just want to give you some introduction to some introduction to Power BI just before I introduce the concept of data mart. So Power BI was launched in 2015 with a view to help citizen analyst developers or data analysts. And these data analysts are not BI developers. So they are business users who want to access the data so that they can analyze the data with less code or no code. Yeah, with less code or no code. So they won't be writing SQL statements and they are not developers. So if we look at traditional BI developers need to spend a lot of time learning BI tools like Management Studio, integration services, analysis services, etc. And they are a different breed compared to the citizen data analysts. So Power BI is meant for these citizen developers. But what about governance? And also what about the reusability of the components that you develop? So let's say you want to use one Power BI table in multiple Power BI files. For example, a customer table or a date table or a currency table, you want to use those tables in every Power BI report that you want to develop. Are you going to copy and paste? No, right? So it is not a good idea, as this will have multiple versions, and if you want to change something, you have to change in all the reports. So and also you might have DAX expressions that you want to use in various reports. So in various reports that you will be using. So that's the reason I want to just give you wanted to give you this short intro to before introducing the concept of a data mart. So Microsoft came up with some concepts recently for Power BI, like the shared data sets and also the data flows. I hope you all know what those are. These concepts help the Power BI development to be more module based and layered architecture. So having everything in one file is not a good reusable method, right? So we can use Power BI data sets that have all your data, relationships, and calculations, etc. And these data sets can be used to create Excel reports or Power BI reports. So you can use shared data sets in your Excel or Power BI reports. So if we look at the layered architecture, how it works is you have the data sources, and from the data sources you create shared data sets, and from some other sources or the same sources you can create data flows. And with these data flows you can use the shared data sets to use to in Excel and Power BI to create reports, and the same data flows can be used in Excel and Power BI. So this is a layered architecture, and all these data flows and shared data sets are stored in the Azure Data Lake, which is freely available for you with the Power BI subscription that you are using. Now, this layered approach will enable what this enables is somebody can build shared data sets, somebody can build data flows, and someone else can build the Power BI reports or the Excel reports. But who is the main user of Power BI? So it's not the developer, right? So it's the business user. However, the Power BI is designed for citizen developers, as we have seen earlier. So these citizen developers will have these questions like, what is Management Studio? What is Visual Studio? Do I need to learn those things to be good at Power BI? So those kind of questions come into their mind. So that is where the Power BI data mart comes into the picture. So what is a data mart? Data mart is a new self-service capability that has been available from the May version of Power BI desktop. Sorry, not Power BI desktop, a May version in Power BI service. Mainly you can create data marts using Power BI service. And this is included this is a service where it enables users to uncover actionable insights where there is no IT help required from IT teams. And citizen developers are empowered with the ability to create relational databases with zero or no code experiences for workloads up to 100 GB, and without compromising on performance or enterprise security and governance demands. This new out-of-the-box capability that is fully managed by Microsoft Power BI. So what previously took users months of waiting in line for IT teams to get approved data sets and other things, now these can be done in minutes by themselves. So best of all, IT does not have to worry about getting all data into centrally governed data sources. So that way we provide some discipline to at the core and flexibility of at the edge. And also it requires Power BI Premium. So with Power BI Premium, what happens is we don't need any new subscription, or we don't need any database licenses, and also no pipelines are needed. Everything is managed at the back end when you create the Power BI data mart. Now, yeah, everything happens automatically when you are trying to create the database data mart. So let's look at how briefly about the structure of the data mart, how it will look. You have your data sources, and from the data sources you create some data flows, and that is like a module. And then from the data flows, if you want to create a data flow, then from the data flows, what happens in the background is, while you are creating getting the sources, in the background what happens is it creates a SQL Server data mart, and that SQL Server is in Azure. So it's in the Azure SQL database, and all happens automatically. The user doesn't know that this is happening. And that can be used to create shared data sets. And all this happens, all these three layers happens with a UI to manage and develop the Power Query online. So which is Power Query Online. You might all be familiar with the Power Query. So Power Query Online, the citizen developers can use Power Query Online, and then all this happens. And then you can use these shared data sets to in your Excel and Power BI reports. So that's in brief about architecture of the Power BI data mart. Now what I want to show you is I want to show you a demo of the data mart. I just want you to let me know whether you can see my Power BI service. Can you see Power BI service, or can you just see PowerPoint? Can you let me know?
We can see only the PowerPoints.
Only PowerPoint. So okay, let me reshare again. Do I get back to grid view? Okay. How do I get back to sharing? Ah, it's at the top. Okay. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, share content and can you see my
Yes.
Power BI service?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So because I mentioned that Data Mart, Power BI Data Mart is a Power BI service, is available in Power BI service. So I won't be using Power BI desktop for this one. So in this, this is, I have a premium subscription for this one. And here you might have noticed in the recent months, there is a new concept called Data Hub. So when you click on Data Hub, this is where you can see both the data sets that you have created and also the data marts that you have created. So these are all the data marts that I have created. I haven't created any data sets. Yeah, okay. So I must have created some data. Okay, when you create a data mart, it creates automatically a data set as shared data set as well. Okay, so now I will show you how to create a data mart. So I can go into a workspace. I'm just going into this demo workspace. And if you can see here, there is a new, and if you click on the new, there is a new menu item called Data Mart preview. So it's still in preview, but you can still use it. So I'm going to click on it, and what you're going to see now is nothing but a Power Query online version. Because it's still starting, so it's a bit slow. So just bear with me. Okay. So now this is nothing but Power Query Online, and this is the you are getting help for you how to start building a building your data mart. So you just need to import from any source. So you can either import from SQL Server or Excel or Dataflow or any other source. Get data from any other source. It is the same as clicking here. So I'll just click here and sorry, yeah. Can you see my screen with the new? Can you see the data sources?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you can create your data mart from all these sources. So you can do Excel and SQL Server, Azure, SQL. There are a lot of sources here. I'm going to use ODBC, ODBC source, OData source. And I want to show you how my OData source is. It's something like an XML file. So this has default categories and customers table and order details table, orders table, products table, all these are there. So what I do is I'll just copy the OData link and find OData connection within the data source and then choose that, and then I just go into enter the URL, and this URL can be accessed anonymously. So I just leave everything the same, and then I just go and create, click on next, and then once you click on next, you can see all the tables that are available, which is defined in this data, in this OData feed. So I'll just take a couple of, let's say order details and maybe customers. I just want to keep it simple. So I'm just going and creating the loading only these three tables. So I'm just going to go and click on transform data, and you can see the normal Power Query, the source and the navigation. So this again, this you can use parameters, and you can use other features of the Power Query online. And once you save it, see now all these steps are happening. Power Query is processing and building the ETL rules, creating relationships. If there are automatic relationships, then that will create relationships, starting to data load and loading the data. And now it is showing how many rows have been loaded in each of the tables that we have selected. And now it is wrapping up things. Now once that is done, we can go to the workspace. I think I didn't give any name. Okay. So yeah, it's still running. Yeah. So now you can see the, so this is the name. This is where you can give the name. So I'm just giving the name as demo data mart. Let's say 0108. For me, it's 1st of August. Yeah, okay. So now we can just enter that. Okay. Now if we go to the workspace, then what you see is the demo data mart. This is the data set and this is the data mart. If I click on that, you see the same interface. So now this interface has three, you might have noticed that there are three buttons, extra buttons. This is the table view, and this one is the design view, where you can use this and then build a query. You can maybe how many customers are there, you can build that. And this one, if you do that, when you are if you know how to write code, then you can write code like SQL like code. So we can just say select top 10 star from, let's say, customers, and there is IntelliSense also available. So, and then if you run it, this will give you a similar to SSMS, Management Studio kind of approach. And here is where you can see the relationship view. Okay, so these are the four tabs that you have. And also you can manage roles and other things as well in this one. So that's in brief about a data mart. And when you create a data mart, automatically a data set is also created. So any questions so far? If there are any questions, I can take. Oh, I think there is something in the chat. Okay, that's okay. So since there are no questions, I'll proceed to the okay, I'll proceed to the next one, which is field parameters. For that, I'll be using my Power BI desktop. So I'm just sharing that. Okay, so can you all see my Power BI desktop?
Yes.
Okay, so now field parameters is okay. So now I'll just show you something here. I have a bar column graph here, bar graph, where I have plotted sales, and this sales is if I want to break down by, let's say, production, like product category. So I think this is, yeah, product category name. I'll just include that in, sorry, I'll just include that in the x-axis, right? So this is product category. And if I want to include, let's say, city or something, or product subcategory, let's say, so product subcategory, then what I need to do is, if I go here and include, you cannot see that, right? It has to be done in a separate file, in a separate chart, right? And then you use buttons to display when you create when you click on category name, and when you click on category subcategory name, then you display the other chart, that kind of stuff, right? So in order to avoid this copy and paste and creating buttons, now in May, the field concept of field parameters has been introduced. So so what does that do? So let me I'll just close this one. So there is something called field parameters in not so much field parameters in modeling tab. If you click on new parameters, you have something called numeric range, which has always been there, but there is something called fields in the menu item. So if you click on that, this parameter window opens. Can you see the parameters window? Or shall I say, I don't know how to share my whole screen. Can you see the parameters window?
Yes.
Or just, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because it's a sub window, I'm just making sure. Okay, so now here, what is the what this screen contains is, see, this is the parameters. If you want to change, if you change your mind and change it to numeric, you can. But I want to create a field parameter, and I just want to name this. Let's say I'm just doing a breakdown of all the fields that I want to use as the parameters. You'll understand when I start displaying you. So I want a category name. So category name, and I want to know the subcategory, let's say country and city. So let's you can include how many ever you want. So once you create that, I didn't change the parameter, change the name of the parameter, I think. So once I create that, what happens is, yeah, so it has created, yeah, I think I changed it to breakdown. So now it has created and added a slicer for us, right? So now if you what you would expect is, if you click on product category name, this should change to product category name. And if you click on subcategory, this should change, and this should, if you click on country, the countries should be displayed here. Is that happening? No, it's not happening, right? So anyone can answer why it is not happening? Unmute and answer. No? Okay. So the reason why it is not happening is, um, x-axis, in the x-axis, I have not I have not changed the x-axis, right? I just I'm displaying category name. So if I change this to this breakdown, now because I have selected country, now it is showing country. If I select subcategory, now it is showing subcategory. And if I select product category, then it is showing product category. And if I select city, then it is showing city, right? So you don't need, it's very easy now. You just need to create a parameter, and you have everything there. Otherwise, previously you might have to use, sometimes you might have to use calculation groups to create, and also bookmarks and drill throughs and stuff. So you don't need to do that. So that's one use case. Now the next use case is, let's say I'm again going into a blank sales one. Now what I want to do is, I want to use this breakdown into the legend. So now you can see the breakdown as legend, right? And let's say I can even add a date hierarchy. Let's go and add a date hierarchy. And then you can drill into the quarters and further drill down into months and stuff, right? So now this has sales in it. Check. Okay. So this has, in the y-axis, this has sales in it. But what I want to do is, I want to create, like, I want to dynamically change my measures. This is a measure, right? Change my measures to, let's say, for example, I have a few measures here. Let's see what measures I have. So I want to say, let's say, sales forecast, sales and sales forecast, or between, or say, let's say sales percentage. Okay, so I want to dynamically change from sales and also sales percentage. So for that, what I do is, I again create a parameter. So I can just go into modeling tab, new parameters, fields, and from here I can add sales and sales percent of total. And let's say I will just say sales per meter. Okay, and you can click on add slicer to this page. So I'm just adding slicer to the page. Yeah, it has added here. Just resize this one. Okay. Now, when I click on these ones, it should automatically create, change this one, right? But it is not changing because I need to do one more thing, which is in the y-axis, I need to change this sales measure to my sales, I call something, right? Sales parameter. Where is my sales parameter? Yeah, this is the sales parameter. So I'm changing it to this one. So now this is showing the sales percentage of total, and that is showing sales. So you can dynamically use even for the measures. It is not only the reason why I'm showing this one is this is the second use case where you can change it for the measures as well, not just the fields but also the measures. And okay, so now let's say yeah, this is the same thing. Okay, now let's say we have this sales by the breakdown that we have created. Now what we want to do is we want to also display in this, within this one, we want to also display top 10 products. So then what we need to do is we need to create a top 10 list, right? So for that, I have already created in my data set. Let's say top 10. Okay. In the product table, if you look at the product table, what I've done is I've created a DAX function, used a DAX function called rankx, where rankx and what my table name is dim product, and I want to rank by my sales measure, and not only rank them and then check whether I used a if condition, check whether this rank is less than or equal to 10, because I want the top 10. Less than or equal to 10. If it is less than or equal to 10, what I want to do is I want to display the product name. So whichever product is, see this one here, if you see, this comes in the top 10. So that's why this has the product name. Otherwise, if it is not in top 10, nothing comes here. That's what this DAX is doing. So I have created a column with which is called top 10 product. So now what I do is I want to include that in the visualization here in this breakdown. So this breakdown, product breakdown. So if I go to product breakdown, now if I look here, this is nothing but a DAX function, which is it is just a list, and then it is using a function called name of. If you use the function called name of, then you are creating the parameter. So here it's just a matter of adding one more line. Just copy that line and then add it, and then introduce a comma. I have just put comments in this, so I'm just copying it, and then this is the name of what you want to appear in the list. So that's the name, and then use the name of function and then create and use the column that you have created. Not only that, you need to order. So the order is 0, 1, 2 is already there. So I have changed it to 3. And now if I enter that, now what happens is, see, if you see this one, see that's the top, I think there is some filter here. Let's say, yeah. So if I click on category, product category name, so that's what it is appearing. And here, if I click on top 10 products, so these are the top 10 products that we are seeing. So this is another use case that you can use with the field parameters. So these are the three major use cases that I wanted to show you. You can even edit the code that you have that was created underneath when you try to create the field parameters. So if you can let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll proceed to the next one. Okay, next one is Power BI storytelling, data storytelling. I just want to briefly cover that with in the PowerPoint first. So let me share my PowerPoint. I want to share my whole screen. Can I share my whole screen? Share application. Okay. I think if yeah, I'm going to share my whole screen. Now I figured out, almost at the end of the session, I figured out how to share. Okay. Okay. So now this is the main features of Power BI data storytelling is usually we use PowerPoint heavily to do the storytelling, data storytelling. Either it can be a sales presentation or a presentation like this, you use PowerPoint heavily, right? So what Microsoft has done is in the June version of the Power BI desktop, they have created an integration between Power BI and PowerPoint. You can initiate it from PowerPoint or you can initiate it from Power BI. For if you want to initiate it from Power BI, there is an admin setting that you need to enable, that your organization needs to enable, so that you can use the Power BI report that you create in PowerPoint. So how do we do it? We download it from Microsoft Store, the Power BI add-in, and yeah, I'll show you these, freeze the view and sharing the presentation. Okay. Now let's go to PowerPoint. Yeah, this is PowerPoint. So there are two places where you can see the add-ins. Some people might have add-ins in the main toolbar. Don't go there because that's not where the Power BI add-in can be added. What you need to do is you need to go into the insert button, and there is something called add-ins here. So here, if you click and if you click on get add-ins for the first time, it will take you to the Microsoft Store. Then search for Power BI add-in, this is the new one. You can add it. I'm not going to add that now because I have already added. Now what I want to show you is this is the demo. So I'm just going to add one of my reports into this, and then I'll show you some features. So that report is in here, I think. Yeah, okay. So this is the report that I want to add into my PowerPoint so that I can present interactively. So what this does is, so for example, if I go into by manufacturer and click on the slider panel, I have these manufacturers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 manufacturers, which I want to interact directly from within PowerPoint. So before June, we were not able to do it, but now we can do that. How do we do that? Okay, let's say I just want to add this. So usually what we go is we either take a image snipping, use a snipping tool and then new and then use it. But this won't be interactive because this is just an image, right? Or shall we do this one? Let's try this, okay? I'm just copying the link. It's like a web link. And then I'm just going to go into PowerPoint and again go into insert, add in, and my add-ins. Once you add, you come into my add-ins and then go into Microsoft Power BI. Now Microsoft, so when I copy that same URL here, so this interface appears and you just need to paste the URL for the report to appear. So copy link from your report. See, it is now directing because I have done it in a different way. That is not the way to do it. So what it is suggesting is give people automatic access to the data. Click share, copy link from your report. So this will not work. If I say insert, it should not work, but oh, it is working. But I think it won't change. Let's say. See the interactivity. Oh, it is there. Okay. Okay, so you can use that, or what you can do is there is another way of sharing, which is if you go into here and click on share, in here you can share the data as well by giving permissions to the email that you are sharing, as well as you can click on PowerPoint. So copy this link, or you can directly open in PowerPoint. So now it is interactive. So for example, if I have this play axis, that also will be interactive. So oh, it's here. Sorry, I'll stop that, and let's see the same thing in here. So until before June, you were not able to do this. So mainly this is useful for sales professionals where they are trying to, or even senior management where they are trying to manage the financials reports, or whatever reports, KPI reports that they want to see. They can drill through and stuff. At the moment, there are a couple of limitations. I don't know whether I don't call it limitations, because you need, for example, if you see here, I have two tabs, right? Two pages, but it copies only the page from where you are trying to copy. Because I copied this, it just copied this page here. I'll just stop this one, this page. But if you want to copy another page, the first page, then you have to copy from here. So that is that's the and I want to show you how to change as well. I'll just readjust this one. Okay, when I readjust, see, you can see two buttons here. So one is you can choose whether you want to show the filter pane or not. You can also refresh the data. Just readjust this one.
என்னோட வீடியோ ரெக்கார்ட்.
Sorry, is anyone saying anything?
You can proceed. No, you can proceed. No?
I can proceed. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, so you can control whether you want to show filter pane or not from here. Also refresh the data. Also reset as to how it is shown here. Sometimes you use the filters and then you want to reset, so you can reset that. And with this one, you can clear and start over again. So if you want to change the report from this one to something else, you can click on that and then it will clear. I'm not clearing it. It will clear, and then you can repaste another link. And yeah, there are some learnings as well if you click on this one. So that is what is in brief how to do the Power BI data storytelling.
I had a question.
Yeah.
So this integration is it also there with Microsoft Word if you wanted to like export some sort of a dashboard or a report, Power BI
No,
to
not as of yet, not in Microsoft Word. It is
okay.
only with PowerPoint because there is an add-in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, sure. Thank
that's
you.
a good question. Okay, so if I go into my presentation, continue. So that's the okay. So that's the Power BI data storytelling. Now, if we recap, we just covered the Power BI data mart, and we have briefly seen what a data hub is and what it contains. And you have seen the different use cases for field parameters, how useful it is, and also the Power BI data storytelling with PowerPoint. Any questions? Yeah, otherwise that's me. I'll stop sharing.
So participants, if you have any questions, you can ask. So let me share the screen. Yeah. So moving to the key takeaways. So secret code for downloading the certificate, it is 2FKWAB. So you can provide your credentials so that you will be taken to the private dashboard. In the private dashboard, you can find claim certificate link. So you can click that link and it will ask for the secret code, and you can provide the secret code as 2FKWAW, WAB, so that you can download the certificate. Let me